Brooklyn. The home of the Nets. Barclays Center. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Going to bring you the NBA right here on 2K Sports. Back to the road tomorrow as this is the final game of the Nets homestand.
This team only had itself on its bandwagon early, but here they are taking care of business because they had the confidence to know they could get it done.
And I'd like to give a nod to the front office as well. Without the star power that a lot of other teams had coming in, they were able to put together just the right combination. And they made this a very complete team.
So the opening lineup for the Spurs, presented by State Farm. Tony Parker at the 1 and Danny Green at the 2. Brown and Duncan are the forwards. And it's Splitter in its center, locking down the middle. And for the Nets, Joe Johnson and Gerald Wallace, the 2 and the 3. Evans is out there with Brook Lopez, and it's Williams at the point guard position. Johnson dishes to Evans. Backing down is Wallace. 6 to shoot. And the whistle blows. It'll be on Thiago Spurs. That is his first foul of the game.
First team foul.
And now, just over a minute played here in the first. Wallace, he's covered by Leonard. From 13, Wallace misses.
That's a shot that he sometimes struggles with, but you can't fault him for taking it when the defense backs off like that. You know, the Spurs have always been built around Tim Duncan, but the last few years they've added more depth than they used to have early in the Duncan era. And so Greg Popovich is playing 9 or 10 guys. They're very deep. They play together. Excellent passing team. And they've become much more up-tempo than they ever were early in that era.
Williams kicks to Lopez. Here's Johnson. And the Nets miss again.
Offensively, 1 of 4 to start. They're still trying to find their stroke.
Leonard, no luck. The Nets and Bond has 1 of 4 to get this game started. And with the team getting older, you really need to have more depth. And the Spurs have certainly added that.
Young or old, every team needs depth, but the Spurs have added the right kinds of depth. The players that fit into what they do well, and it's a big part of why they still are able to compete at a high level.
A shot by Parker. And that one's on target from the wing.
That jump shot's like a layup for him when the defense backs off like that.
Back to Evans. Out to Wallace. That's good. Wallace has got his first points in this one.
There was no question about it. He was going to finish that one off.
Parker passes to Splitter. It's blocked by Lopez. The second chance effort. Splitter, that's good. Splitter's got his first basket of the night.
Excellent job carving out space under the glass to make that putback possible.
Here's Green. Hit his foot. And it's whistled a kick. Some changes for Brooklyn. Humphries comes in for Reggie Evans. And it's Watson in for Darren Williams. San Antonio also making some changes. Juwan Blair. He's checked in for Duncan. Ginobili comes in for Kawhi Leonard. And Gary Neal subbed in for Daniel Green. Here's Neal. Shot, high post. Nice jump shot. Good.
He shouldn't be afraid to take that shot more often. He's solid from there.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, a short time ago, I had a chance to catch up with Greg Popovich. He said we've been playing some of our best basketball on offense of late and continue not a lot of mistakes, guys going to where they should be, setting good solid screens. Really, I can't ask for much more from them on the offensive end. Obviously, something he hopes can keep going here.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. And getting good shots, guys, creating those quality opportunities is something Coach hopes to see here early on.
You know, Kevin, I think he worries sometimes that his guys play too much individual one-on-one basketball. I think he really wants to focus to be on team execution today.
And that's what it always should be, Kevin. And Steve, hero ball doesn't usually end up allowing you to be successful, so let's see if this message got across.
Well, it was the San Antonio Spurs in their last game, a loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Parker. And out of bounds as the Nets gain possession. And now let's check out the standings in the Eastern Conference and see how the playoff race is shaping up. Take a look at the Heat and, of course, the Brooklyn Nets. They're tied right now. Nets trailed by 4. Buxton kicks to Johnson. And again, it's Brooklyn converted. Here's Parker, averaging 20 points per game.
Yeah, Joe Johnson now in his 12th season out of Arkansas. One of the best swingmen in basketball. And of course, he's one of the highest paid players in the league, so I think fans sometimes expect more out of him. But he's still a very solid player.
And the slam by Wallace.
Flawless alley-oop that time. That's real stylish basketball there.
Almost looks like a play they've been rehearsing for a while.
Well, that's the beauty of the alley-oop. It appears that way, but really it's just timing and sort of an innate sense of awareness between two teammates.
And for players with the big contracts, there's always that added pressure, you know, guys, to live up to it. And Clark, that's a tough thing to do sometimes.
Yeah, you said a mouthful there, Kevin. It's so true. Sometimes guys strike them. Tell you what, you need to archive that one for the highlight tape.
Oh, yeah, that is a keeper. You're correct.
Man, that was incredible.
Yeah, man.
Those plays will give your team a huge boost. And you look at DeJuan Blair, just another example of the Spurs finding undervalued talent to add to their roster. He was a second-round pick back in 2009. A lot of teams were scared off because of some knee injuries, but Blair has stayed healthy and been very productive for the Spurs.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Andre Blatch, he's checked in for Lopez. Evans comes in for Chris Humphries. And it's Bogans in for Joe Johnson. Here's Evans. Dunks it down.
And again, the lead changes hands.
Yep, back and forth we go, Steve. I mean, back and forth, back and forth. Neither side caving in.
For 3, Bonner. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got 4 assists now tonight.
You know, you take a look at DeJuan Blair, guys. I mean, his rebounding rate has actually dipped 2 seasons in a row now, but his scoring has increased. And as you guys said, for the 37th pick, he was a great get for the Spurs.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And this really is such an interesting time for the Nets because the move to Brooklyn, I think, has elevated the image of that franchise. You know, they used to be the little brothers to the Knicks and playing across the river in New Jersey. But now they basically are sharing the spotlight in the Big Apple, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. That's going to be important for this team to fight over the top of screens defensively.
Yeah, you got to tag him and stay right close to him because with his touch, he doesn't need much space to get his shot off.
Parker with the steal. He feeds it to Green. Shoots over Bogans. Kept alive. Duncan. Missed inside. The Nets have gone 2 for 3 at the foul line in this game.
Well, collectively, this is a 73% free throw shooting team.
Guys, their free throw shooting has slipped a bit since last year, but not really to the point where they should be overly concerned about it.
Hope they get it back.
And one of the keys for this team is securing defensive rebounds. Keep them off the offensive glass.
Well, that's the period for the sentence of your defense, rebounding the ball.
Left side, Williams. The first quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting game so far. Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And looking at what we've seen from the Spurs so far, guys, what do you think?
And you get a chance early on to see their depth. They got a nice effort from their bench players early in this game.
Yes, Steve, I tell you what, their subs have really packed the punch for them so far.
Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation. Ball is off the pick from Humphries. Watch inside. And he slams it in one-handed.
And you really don't want to give up too many dunks like that. One is too many.
No, certainly you're right. You know, that's making it way too easy for sure.
Yeah, major breakdown defensively. They've got to tighten things up here.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. And Brooklyn, looking who they've got. The forwards are Wallace and Humphrey. Jerry Williams out there with Bogan. And it's Watch in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
And the defense really has to pick it up here, guys. They allowed themselves to get picked too easy.
Leonard dishes to Splitter. They double him with Wallace. Splitter passes to Duncan. And Tim Duncan gets the whistle. That's his first foul. Joe Johnson, he's checked in for Keith Bogan. Blatch kicks to Wallace. Back to Blatch. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Blatch has got 4 points in the quarter.
Well, I love watching Greg Popovich coach. He's such an amazing guy, has a great feel for his players. I was privileged to play for him for 4 years in San Antonio. And one thing about Pop, he cares about you as an individual. Beyond basketball, he genuinely cares about you and your family. And the players feel that. That's why they play so hard for him. Terrific defensive play to cut him off and square up.
He took a shot, excellent toughness to get in there and make a play. I love that kind of work.
And Ginobili, here we go. Here's Duncan. It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Going back to Coach Popovich, those personal connections he made with his players. Some coaches, don't want to go there. He does. He's not afraid at all to reveal a lot about himself.
I think relationships are really the key to being a great coach. The players want somebody that they can really talk to and enjoy being around. Sometimes coaches are too distant from the players, but Popovich is the opposite. He wants everybody to know that they're part of the family, and he's in charge of the family, no doubt. And sometimes he can be a tough father, but in the end, you feel great about being part of that unit.
Leonard, no luck. But that's a gone. 3-4 for the 4 here in the second quarter. Stolen by Ginobili. Right up. And it's slammed in by Splitter.
That was a hole punch jam there, Kevin.
A nice finish.
Yeah, you got to love the way he just capped off that strong move. You know, for such a long time, the Spurs were looked to as an annual threat to win it all, especially with Tim Duncan in his prime. But the last few years, people haven't taken San Antonio seriously, but they still win consistently, night in and night out.
Back at 2. The 3 from Johnson. And it's Wallace with the jam.
He spoke loud on making a statement that play.
Yeah, that was brute force, battling for the offensive board and taking it right back up there.
That's just all about strength and energy, guys.
Mills can't hit. Thinking about the Spurs, a lot of it just seems to be a habit for them. Winning has certainly become a habit down in Texas.
Yeah, they have the players to compete, but by no means do they seem overpowering to any other team. Pop is a great coach. Greg Popovich gets the most out of him. That's a big part of it.
Well, they call him Crash for a reason, Kevin. His ability to create havoc on the floor, diving for loose balls, getting offensive rebounds. He's just got that combination of size and speed at the kind of 3-4 position that is really tough to deal with.
And his athleticism really elevates that hustle play of his to an elite talent. I mean, he covers a lot of ground getting in passing lanes. And one other thing is when he gets in transition, we all know he can finish.
And so he hits both.
With the move to Brooklyn now complete, we can look back at how the Nets fared in terms of playoff appearances during their time in New Jersey. They did a decent job of getting to the playoffs while in New Jersey.
The finals a couple times. And here's a fast break. Watson leading the way. Open shot, Johnson. And again, no good by Brooklyn.
So far, he hasn't made much of a contribution at the offensive end.
Good. And it was hard, Steve, when the Nets were in the ABA. They won the 3 titles in 5 years, but the New Jersey version just didn't have that same success.
Well, the best years for the Nets were probably when Jason Kidd was running the show back a few years ago. They made the finals in consecutive years. And now it's a chance to start new in Brooklyn, start something special. And we're going to bank on this new venue, new location to try to jumpstart their franchise.
Keith Bogans, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Then for the Spurs, Daniel Green, he's checked in for Ginobili. And Tony Parker subbed in for Patrick Mills. And the call will be against Gerald Waltz. That is his first foul of the game.
Second team foul.
Outside, Green. Blair, the screen. Parker drives in. Over Bogans. And another shot. Here's Leonard. And he uses both hands to jam it in.
Look at that effort. Does he set a great example out there or what?
On plays like that, he does. Sure, what work on the offensive glass we see with him.
Yeah, that was awesome. Put back with the slam. Are you kidding me?
Kawhi Leonard.
I like Kawhi Leonard out of San Diego State, a real gym rat. San Antonio has worked hard with him on his jump shot, and he's made dramatic strides there. And with his rebounding ability, as he continues to shoot the ball well, he can be a very effective player.
Lopez dishes to Watson. Lopez. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Shot clock at 6. No good again that time. Spurs leading by 6.
Guys, you know, going back to Leonard, he's got a big house near the practice facility. He's upstairs, and his mom moved in downstairs. He told him, you focus on basketball, let me take care of everything else. Scheduling, ticket requests, eating healthy. And for a young player, all of that makes a lot of sense to me. I'd like to see more guys do it that way.
Andre Blatch, he's checked in for Brook Lopez. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for San Antonio. Duncan comes in for DeJuan Blair. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Reggie Evans.
You know, sometimes teams don't age gracefully. And when your stars start to age, all of a sudden the team goes south. But the Spurs have managed to maintain a very high level of play, even with Ginobili and Duncan getting older.
The Nets making a switch here. Brooks checked in. And the dunk by Duncan.
Great finish there, Kevin. Took it strong to the cup.
Yeah, an aggressive two-handed jam.
And that's the kind you like, especially in traffic. You got to make sure.
Bogans passes to Blatch. Backing down. Brooks for 3. That's good.
3 points.
The Spurs have gotten older, as you've said, Steve, but, you know, they've made the most of it. And I think, Clark, that adds to just how smart they are. They're high basketball IQ.
Without question, Kevin. And the big thing you see with them getting older is that the top guys get rested more. They're not playing as many minutes. And that you saw quite a bit of that towards the end of last year.
The offensive rebound. Here's Blatch. And the layup falls. Blatch has got 8 points.
He's got his legs underneath him because he's having a heck of a quarter.
Boy, that was a violent throw down there.
You're telling me.
Well, you know when he goes up with both hands, it's going to go down hard.
Now the dish to Bogans. A 3. No good. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. They just couldn't come out on top last time they took on the Nets. That one was played in Brooklyn.
All business there, not messing around one bit. Flushed it right with one hand.
He never does, Clark. He never does.
Well, that's kind of his trademark, those slams like that one.
Watson's shot is good. Watson's got his first points of the game.
They keep going right back to the paint. And who can blame them? I mean, they're getting it done in there.
Yeah, 3 of their last 5 buckets, guys, have come from inside the lane area, so I'd expect them to continue to go inside right at the defense.
Leonard, no luck. Here is Watson. Wow. Now averaging 7 points a game. He's 0-1 from the line, missing on his first trip.
He's been a consistent shooter at the line for them this season, shooting about 78%.
Guys, he is close to where he was last year in that category, but his numbers are still down just a skosh.
Green with a screen for Parker. Draw up the pick from Green. Parker kicks to Splitter. Parker, a screen on block. And we finish one half of basketball.
Spurs 41. The Spurs 48.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Boy, I love it. Absolutely love it. You can almost hear the fans hold their breath when he takes off.
He is a true powerhouse.
Well, you don't want to be in his way on dunks like that one, that's for sure.
Blocking foul.
Changes for Brooklyn. Brook Lopez is checked in for Blatch. And it's Wallace in for Marshawn Brooks.
Gerald Wallace.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it.
Spurs.
And one of the trademarks of the many best point guards in the league, their ability to score in addition to distribute. So here now a look at the top scoring point guards this season. Third is Darren Williams.
Well, this is a collection of maybe the most well-rounded players in the league. To see those kinds of scoring numbers from the point guard position is crazy.
Your head's wacko. That's sort of the era we're in right now, though. A point guard who consistently takes things into his own hands is far more common than it used to be. And some people may not like it, but that's the way of the modern NBA. Change is inevitable, and I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. Manu Ginobili, really one of the top-tier shooting guards this league has to offer, and has been for a while. He's hard to find the flaw in his game, whether it's defense, rebounding, scoring, passing. He's a stat sheet stuffer for sure.
Green. Spurs leading by 9. Parker with it. Williams picks him up. Parker kicks to Ginobili. It's stolen by Johnson. On the wing, Johnson. Pass to Humphries. That's good, and it's Johnson with the assist. Humphries has got his second bucket of the night. And Steve, you played a season in San Antonio alongside Monacino.
I did, Kevin. I felt like he was one of the great competitors that I've ever seen. He's one of those rare guys who literally does not care if he misses. Nothing seems to faze him. He embraces pressure, he embraces every big shot, and if he misses, it doesn't bother him. He just moves right along. That's what allows him to come through in the clutch.
I'll tell you what, it was the good pick that was set and turned him loose.
And once he got around it, Steve, it was smooth sailing right to the hole.
Well, because of the pick, he had plenty of room. That's why he was able to power down that slam.
Here's Splitter, rebounded by the Nets.
Just 1 of 4 now to start this. Oh, get it!
And check out your point guard showing major bounce above the rim.
How about this? The smaller the player, the bigger the highlight.
I love that. And that was a highlight. Terrific finish.
Nets trailed by 5. Wallace dishes to Williams. There's the 3. That's the bucket. Williams has got his third bucket of the night.
Everything working for him out of the half, and they hit 4 of their first 5 shots.
They've got to offer more resistance inside. Just too many easy buckets in the game.
Yeah, Steve, and that's the top priority for any defense. You got to protect the paint.
And the basket by Johnson.
It went down, guys, but still unusual to go to the leader there with so much space around.
Splitter stuffs it through.
Too little, too late from the deep. Give them credit for trying anyway.
Great job they did getting through him and up to the rim.
Yeah, now that was impressive play. That's exactly what I like to see.
2 shots.
Tough season for Brook Lopez last year, guys. He broke his foot just before the season opener, needed surgery, and missed several months of action. For a young player looking to take the next step in his progression, that was really a setback.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Splitter. Duncan comes in for Juwan Blair. And Gary Neal subbed in for Daniel Green.
Boy, both teams showing a lot of hustle, Clark.
Steve, especially since halftime. I mean, they're flying around out there, giving up a lot of energy and putting together a pretty good show.
Humphries backing down. Wallace the pass to Humphries. Off on the layup. And Brook Lopez actually only ended up playing 5 games last season after that injury.
Yeah, it's a big one. You start talking about foot injuries. That can really be an issue. Both idiots behind him. You think about all the extra weight and torque that big guys put on their feet. Let's hope Brook Lopez, an outstanding offensive center, is healthy and as productive as he was his first couple of years going forward.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Andre Blatch is checked in for Lopez. Evans comes in for Chris Humphries. And it's Rogan's in for Joe Johnson. And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here.
Well, a lot of tough teams in this league. Here's where Brooklyn sits right now. 10th in rebounding, 12th in fewest turnovers per game. And they're in the top half of the league in getting high percentage shots as well. Not too shabby.
And the rebounding is really the key stat that I'm looking at right there with all those numbers you talked about, Clark. And this is a team that really tries to be physical. And when they're able to secure boards, that does a lot of things for them. It helps their defense, keeping teams from getting second chance opportunities against them. And it fuels their fast break. That's what a good solid screen will do for you. Gets you a good look at the hoop.
It's Parker with the drive. Here's Bonner. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Bonner's got 4 points in the quarter.
Well, they are really getting chewed up inside here. I mean, that's 8 of the last 10 points they've given up inside in the paint.
Yeah, and the paint should be sacred ground for a defense. I mean, you can't let anybody just trot in there and get an easy bucket.
Up with it. Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
Well, you know, the Spurs have been thinking about what's beyond the Tim Duncan era in the future. But Duncan keeps on ticking, and he just keeps playing at a very high level. And as long as he does that, San Antonio will be tough to beat.
Joe Johnson is checked in for the Nets. The Spurs also changing now. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Manu Ginobili. It's Mills in for Tony Parker. Here's Mills. Shot is off. The Nets go the other way with it. And going back to Tim Duncan in San Antonio, Clark, even if he isn't putting up great numbers, he really does seem to drive the team just through his power and his will.
Well, there's something about presence, and that's really what a superstar player like Duncan can do for you, Kevin. Even if he plays into his 40s, I just can't imagine the Spurs not being competitive with him on their roster.
I agree. And it's Evans missing.
They still couldn't finish, even though it looked like he had a lane to the rim. Too often, that's the story for him.
And that's a foul called an under block. That's his first foul. Some changes for Brooklyn. Chris Humphries is checked in for Evans. Hogan's comes in for Joe Johnson. And it's Watson in for Deron Williams.
Something has to change, guys. That's 10 straight points coming in the paint against this team.
Well, they got to collapse in there, and everybody's got to be conscious of it. It's a team effort in protecting the paint. Control the ball, and then everybody's got to get in there and keep the defense locked down.
Blatch kicks to Watson. Lock at 6. The Nets need to get a shot off here. Blatch. Here's Wallace. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Wallace has got 16 points.
Both clubs really battling for the board.
Yeah, and you know, Steve, the rebounding story really mirrors the game at large. I mean, it's been pretty much tit for tat, neck and neck.
Rogan's kicks over to Blatch. Kicks to Humphries. And strong with the one-handed jam. And Clark and Steve, as we approach the fourth quarter, still anyone's ballgame.
Yeah, exactly right, Kevin. I mean, these teams just simply keep trading baskets, and as a result, trading the lead.
Yeah, neither side really able to create.
And as we finish the third quarter, it's still close. Both teams trading baskets. Spurs out in front. They lead by 2. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports. Johnson, Wallace, and Humphries are the 2, 3, and 4 in order. Watch out there with Watson. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Humphries with the bucket.
Man, they are both light lighting it up here.
Exciting basketball, Steve. I mean, it's been back and forth, each side dropping in points every chance they get.
And there's the 3-second violation.
Boy, in a close game especially, those plays really hurt.
Watson dishes to Blatch. Puts the lead pass in front of him. Humphries the pass to Watson. The trade. It's hauled in by Blair.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, a little frustrated now, shaking his head after that miss.
And there's the foul. It's on C.J. Watson. That's his first foul. It's Ginobili outside. Here's Blair. Here's Splitter. Pushes up.
Well, until recently, he was one of the top big men in Europe. Now in the NBA, he's really showing what he's got at both ends of the floor. An active big man, he can run the floor, he can rebound, block shots, and score a little bit as well.
Yeah, you know, a mobile 7-footer with a good basketball IQ. He's a factor on the offensive board, boosting that box score for second-chance points. Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Brook Lopez is checked in for Blatch. And it's Bogan's in for Joe Johnson. And the foul called on DeJuan Blair. That's his first foul. Kawhi Leonard is checked in for San Antonio. Green comes in for Corey Joseph.
Spurs foul. Shooting for Brooklyn, C.J. Watson.
And I think Doris Burke has some for us right now. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what the Nets coach was going over with his team. He told them the game is right there for the taking, fellas, but we've got to be first. First to loose balls, first to the rim. We have to give our all right here. Kevin, now's the time.
And thanks for that story, Doris. That is good.
Again, they attack the hoop from the lane, and it's been really good to them.
Yeah, they're getting whatever they want down there. That's 4 of their last 5 buckets coming in the paint area.
Watson. They grabbed their own miss. And Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
14 foul.
And Brooklyn has possession. Wallace, he's covered by Leonard. Pass it to Bogans. The three is launched. And a clear foul there as he shot the triple. He'll go to the line for 3 free throws.
Boy, you hate to see that, fouling the three-point shooter.
You know, there are a lot more free throws made than threes every season. I mean, make him earn it from deep. Don't foul.
No good on the second free throw. A different look now for San Antonio. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Splitter. And Tony Parker is subbed in for Patrick Mills.
That one miss could hurt them. I mean, there's a big difference between being up 1 and being up 2.
Boy, right down to the wire here, Clark and Steve. Still anyone's ball game.
Both teams really invested now. I mean, this is the type of game you love to win and you hate to lose it.
Boy, after all this energy that both teams have expended, you're right, Clark. This would be a tough one to lose.
5 to shoot. Snatched up. Here's Lopez. Duncan with some nice D.
Hey, the defense was right there, just waiting, doing a nice job of anticipating that run.
Steve, every team needs tough interior defense to be successful.
And the foul call on Kawhi Leonard. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. Andre Blatch, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Williams comes in for C.J. Watson. The Spurs also with the sub. Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for Daniel Green. And that one's good. 8 points for Parker.
Boy, what a great job of getting it in the teeth of the defense and scoring in the paint.
And that's been their main point of attack. I mean, get the ball deep and try to score from in tight rather than rely on the outside shooting. I mean, that's a more consistent way to score. Take it inside.
And again, no good by Brooklyn. San Antonio leading. And it's Manu Ginobili with the finish.
How about the nice, exquisite timing on that alley-oop? Well done.
Yeah, two teammates in total sync right there. You're right.
Very harmonic.
Oh, man, it was beautiful. The pass was delivered right to the hoop. Set up that jam. See the pick there. Got him wide open all the way to the rim.
It's Parker with the drive. Launches a three. Scooped up. Duncan. Put that in on the way up. Duncan's got 10 points in just the second half.
They're taking it to the hoop strong now, getting a lot of points in the paint.
Shooting for Brooklyn. Steve, I love it. I mean, I like to see guys attacking the rim and taking it to the paint. It's fun basketball to watch. It's not for the faint of heart, though. You got to be a man to go in there strong.
Joe Johnson, he's checked in for Brooklyn. And so he makes both from the line. The Spurs have gotten into a pretty good groove, going 6 of 10 here in the final quarter. Here's Parker.
Next foul.
And he was fouled on the way out. 2 free throws now for him.
That's his second.
What a game for Tony Parker. He has 8 points and 9 assists. Whether it's making a tough pass or coming up with the steal, he's been able to do it.
Well, he's had a great feel for the game today, for his teammates, for the situation, for his opponents. I mean, he knows what's going on out there.
Brooke Lopez is checked in for Andre Black. Dishes it to Johnson. Lets it go from deep. Back to Williams. Three-pointer. It's hauled in by Duncan. Duncan's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. For 3, Connor. Humphries gets the rebound. Humphries has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Wallace kicks to Lopez. Johnson outside. Back to Lopez. Got a piece of it. Takes it right up. And it's Wallace slamming it down.
Boy, you can't let them get deep position.
Yeah, you got to do your work early here, Steven. You got to be physical with it.
Oh, trying for it. And stolen by Aaron Williams.
You know, guys, you look at it, one turnover in the game, sometimes that can get overlooked. I think it shows how well he's playing. I mean, he's really making the most of every possession.
The Spurs shooting has been beyond great up until now. How about 57% from the field overall? It's Ginobili with the drive. And that one's good.
Carving them up inside there, Kevin. I mean, the defense has been vulnerable in there.
Yeah, that's 3 straight field goals in the paint area. That's really good offense.
It's stolen by Duncan. And a fast break now for the Spurs. Ginobili leading the charge. Here's Parker. Rebound, Brooklyn. Williams has got his 3rd rebound tonight. All going up court. That's good from Johnson. That's an assist by Williams. 8 points for Johnson.
Kevin, I think he's got to demand the ball. They need him to be more aggressive if they're going to take control of this game.
Ginobili, this is Kabak. And he was clipped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. The Nets making a switch here. Looks checked in. San Antonio also making some changes. Splitter comes in for Matt Bonner. And it's Blair in for Kawhi Leonard. Parker with the steal. He knocks down the Bucks free throw. Kawhi Leonard's checked in for the Spurs. One is good. And both at the line. It's a 2-point ball game.
Critical for him to knock down those free throws, guys. They had to come away with the lead on that trip.
Brooks, the pass to Watson. Lopez a screen. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
2 shots.
And the first of 2 misses. Jaron Williams checked in for C.J. Watson. And the second of 2 is good. That narrows the gap to 1. The Spurs have gone 7 of 13 from the field here in the 4th. Parker drives in.
Big-time shot. Really clutch.
Parker, big-time possession here.
Tell you what, their hearts have to be racing right now.
He dishes it to Johnson. 3-second difference between shot clock and game. Off target from downtown. And here is Barker. And the call will be against Graham Williams. He's now getting his 4th foul of the game and did the bonus here to the line for 2.
Well, you do what you have to do to extend this game and try to get the ball back.
In this situation, clock management crucial.
So he gets them both, and it's a 5-point game.
That's how you finish it off. Knock them all down and chalk up the W.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. They're behind by 5. 5 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Guys, what do you think?
Well, never say never. I guess they just have no quitting.
I think you have to respect that attitude and approach. I know most teams would have called it a game already.
Shoots. No good with the win jumper. And so it's San Antonio with the win. That was a solid win for them.
Yeah, it was. And I think it came down to will more than skill. They went out and got this one.
And that'll wrap it up for Doris Burke, Steve Kerr, and Clark Kellogg, and the rest of our crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching all season long. And now, our Jordan Player of the Game, Tim Duncan.